You're watching another new car spin. I'm your host, Brian. This is the Toyota Tundra fanboys love because it's the new trim. It's called the Tundra TRD Rally. And let me unpack a lot of stuff here for you because, yes, it's a Tundra, but most importantly, all Tundras come in different trims, but they're usually all the same. And I'll tell you what I mean in a second. First, though, I do want to go on a little tangent. So let's go over here. Oh, look. It's so serene and calm. You see, I don't know about you, but I know that YouTube has a lot of doom and gloom these days, a lot of doom porn, and it seems to be coming up a lot in the feeds and the algorithms, and I'm not sure why. Oops, I think I scared him. Talk about YouTube, that'll do things to people. But I think the problem here is, like, on the real estate market, there's doom and gloom. On those financial side of things, there's doom and gloom. And I think it's because these people who make these videos are reading content that's actually created by AI, which is interpreting the information and then writing articles that they're reading and creating videos on, which is like a self-fulfilling prophecy at that point. And everyone's like, well, why is the market doing different things differently? Why is this happening? Why is that happening? And I think it's because everyone's taken the bait. Everyone's falling for the AI bait. And I think what you're falling for here is the AI bait. Because let's think about this for a second. Tundra is Toyota's largest truck, but it's only a half ton, not a 3/4 and not a 1 ton, which means it's not really a truck. And you may go, what? Come on, Brian. What are you talking about? But I'll tell you something. You want to own a business and you need a truck. Basically, you need a 10-ton trailer and you got a Bobcat, you got a skid steer on the back. You can't tow it with this because this won't tow 14,000 pounds. And the F-150 won't either. Neither will the Silverado. Obviously, you wouldn't have a Silverado because it's the top stolen truck here in the country. And obviously, you wouldn't have the F-150 because you'd have the F-250, right? Which means you could tow a trailer and a skid steer on the back. But you can't do that with the Tundra yet, right? Apparently, they're bringing something, but it's not here. Which leads them to believe that what happened at Toyota with this new Tundra, they did a pretty good job, but I don't think they did the work. I think they went to an AI LLM and they said, hey, make us a truck. And this is what it came up with. Use the existing design, modify it, make it look edgy, make it look hip or whatever. But what happened was AI created this. This is what AI looks like, right? Like, it's got features and stuff. It's got little your exhaust thing, your TRD tuned exhaust, which actually sounds pretty good because it's not overly obnoxious. It's got your little parking sensors, your little tow hitch, because you're going to tow what with this. And then you get into the nitty gritty. You get into the real stuff here. And this is where you go, oh, yep. See, they just checked off the box, but they let AI do it, and nobody actually just did some prompt engineering and said, wait a minute, that's not right, right? So it's kind of like when you see AI generated photos and someone has 6 fingers. You don't really notice it until you really take a good look. And here what I'm going to talk about are these latch points. Now, we have anchors, we've got a pad here, I should open this up for you. It's powered, it's got a light on the back, it's got a backup camera, blah, blah, blah. But this bed is actually composite. Nothing wrong with that, but they put this mat down, which, by the way, at 90 miles an hour, this thing kind of goes like this. Although I don't really hear anything in the bed moving around, which is a good thing, because it's grippy. And we do have a port there. I'll talk to you about that in a second. But look at these. Look at these. Look at that. Would you look at that? Just look at it. You see, now if you're gonna load some stuff back here and go to the lake house, you know, you gotta ratchet it down. But the problem is, and it's really hard to do here with one hand, is you gotta loosen this up, right? Let me get those off of there. It's driving somebody nuts. Okay, and then you gotta push this in and then like turn it and then pull it. And then you look at this design and you go, okay, well, I'm just gonna like put it anywhere here on the rail. And so you got your hands full like I do now. And then you're like, wait a minute. How come it's not going back in? And what? You know, and it's hot out, and you got your crap in there, and your friends or your family is standing on the side of the, like going, oh, come on, hurry up. And you're like, what the heck is wrong with this thing? And then you just sit here like an idiot, right? That's what AI just did to you. See, what you don't know is where these anchor points are, because there's no indication of where the anchor points are. But if you look at this rail, this is the same rail. It just doesn't have a lip over it. There's only a certain part where you can do it. You can't just do it anywhere. So you look at this thing and you go, oh, great. So if you got a bunch of stuff in here and you can't lean over and peer in and try and find it, you're kind of like sitting here hunting for it the whole time. And you're trying to maybe line up with the one across the way over there. I still can't get it. Where is it? Anyway, that's the problem. Oh, I found one. And then we got to tighten it down. So to me, this is like half baked, because, you know, if you're using your truck like, well, you're not towing a skid steer, but maybe you're just throwing some stuff back here, like you're gonna be doing this often. And that leads me to the next thing. This power port, right? 120 volt, 400 watts, 100 watts, back and forth. There's only one back here, right? And it cannot charge a 6 amp 40 volt Ryobi battery, which is all the new rage right now. I got this 2 amp, the 4 amp, the 6 amp, the 8 amp. So if you have a lake house and you put your EV, what is it called, your electric lawnmower back here, you cannot charge the 6 amp battery that comes with it with this power outlet. So on your 3-hour drive to the lake house, you got nothing. You got nothing. And when you're at the lake house, you can't sit here idling and charge it, because it's just not enough to do the 6 amp battery. Anyway, that's where the F-150 comes in play here, because I think the F-150 hybrid is the best truck to get when you don't need to tow a skid steer, because it's got like a massive generator. It uses the engine. I think it does 2.2 kilowatt hours or 19 kilowatt hours. It can power your freaking house, and it could do it for like 3 days. You could just let it sit out there idling and plug it into your lake house or your cabin or whatever, and you got power for like a week. I don't know, but you can't do that here. So yeah, I do want to talk about though this composite material, because I actually don't mind it, although it does scratch easily. As you can tell, I put something back here. Sorry, Toyota, but all in the name of research here. But it's a truck. It's going to happen. But this material needs to be on the hood, and this hood design is an AI design, and I can tell you why. My first response here is white looks great. Don't get it in white because of this hood. And I had the same problem with the Tacoma TRD Pro that I reviewed right there, actually. Here in the Tundra, it's a bit of a different hood design. I said that the Tacoma TRD Pro had like this bulge, and it was unnecessary because you couldn't see down. You couldn't see in front of you, especially off-roading. Like, what was the point in having an off-roader where you can't have any view or visibility to what's in front of you when you're off-roading? This one is kind of the opposite. This one is, hey, the hood's a little sportier, but it doesn't need to be this way. It doesn't need these bulges or these lines, and I'll tell you why. Because when I'm in this truck, I get blinded by the sun reflecting right off of here, boom, right into the driver's side, and also especially right here. It seems to just refract the sun right into my eyes, and also here with this gloss black mirror support. If this was just completely flat, that would be much better for me. It'd be obviously better too if it was blacked out. Not the whole hood, you could do a blacked out, and because it's a sporty version, you could do like a blacked out trim piece on there, right? Which, and once you see this, you can't unsee this, which is what they do right here. See, this is just a wrap, basically, and it's only here on the A pillar. Oh, it's actually here on the B pillar too, but this is just the design, right? So why would they do it there and not do something right here and right? Because that's what it needs. That's what it needs to reduce this ridiculous glare. But this is AI. AI designed that. So they also designed whatever aerodynamics this hood has doesn't work, because look at all the dead mosquitoes. I mean, this was after a wash. There's dead mosquitoes everywhere, and the big problem is you can see there's a nasty bug that hit there, and I kept that there on purpose for this video, because when you get inside, yeah, it's a Tundra, you know, it's very comfortable actually. And we'll talk about the good stuff too. Just let me get to the important stuff. So we're gonna start it up. It is a V6. You see, when you start killing a bunch of bugs and you're by a lake and stuff and they just start splattering all over the windshield, the reason why that's there is because look how pathetic AI designed. It's just like, yep, okay, you need windshield washer, check. There's no thought into like the intensity of the windshield wash to remove all the bugs that are definitely going to be on this windshield. So I'm going to show a photo right now of the reflection that comes off of here and off of there. And now that you've seen that, the rest of the cabin is just a Tundra cabin, although this one doesn't have a sunroof, but it does have, I missed that, the big ass window in the back. Now that's fun because you could roll all the windows down, which are all auto, which is, you know, welcome to 2025. And you notice the contrast stitching. You notice stuff in here, and it's like, okay, this is kind of cool. But there's no wireless phone charger. And you have to excuse how dirty this thing is. I actually put like 1,000 miles on it this week. Don't tell Toyota. I was supposed to do 500, but whatever. Here's our 120 volt activation for the bed, and auto headlights, auto stop start, which I have to hit every time, and our auto, not auto, but our headlight leveling for when we have a, I don't know, 1,400, 1,800 pounds in the back. I think it can hold 1,890. So in essence, we have this massive screen, just like everywhere you see in these Tundras. It's not really real navigation, because navigation does not require a subscription, but here it does. And the one complaint I have with this nav is that if you're paying monthly, the traffic better be accurate, and the traffic is never accurate in here. So there we go. We got the attach points on the bed. We got the design of this hood. Oh, by the way, this hood, why isn't it just flatter and made out of the composite material on the bed and don't even paint it? Like, if this is supposed to be a hardcore off-road truck, if you made that the composite material from the bed, I could stand on that. And I think that just kind of sums up this truck, because it's not really a work truck. It's really, well, it's in the name, isn't it? It's a toy. See, the reason why you see a lot of off-roader people using this and overlanding people use this, because that's really all you can do with it. Sure, I mean, you could take it to the lake house, put some stuff back in here, but it's not made for that. You're supposed to put a roof rack on it. You're supposed to put a rooftop tent on there and all this other stuff, because that's the only way you can actually utilize it. No one's going to steal it at the campsite, of course, because it's not a Silverado. Now we are on Michelin 18s, 265/70R18. Very smooth, very efficient, relatively quiet tires. You can see in the back seat here. We don't have vented seats, we don't have heated seats on this trim, but plenty of room. So let's get in here. I do want to talk about the good stuff. So first off, we're going to keep the vehicle on here. If you have auto stop start on and then you come to a red light, it'll tell you if you push the brake harder, it will reset the auto stop start, which is kind of handy because I don't mind the V6 in here, which probably is another AI developed thing, but that's a whole other discussion. And everyone knows about the V6 in these Tundras and all the new 4-cylinders in the Tacomas. I think those are also AI designed, but that's just my thought. You know, you tell me what you think. But basically, over a V8, if I gotta sit here and have the car idle, have the truck idle so that I can charge my batteries for my electric lawnmower or whatever, right? Which, you know, you don't need a V8 to do that. So this makes more sense. Like, you really just need a diesel 4-cylinder, honestly. Like, that's kind of why the hybrid Ford EcoBoost has that whole power generator on board and stuff. That one makes more sense to me for anything and every reason over any Tundra. So I had a Toyota truck when I was like 19, so I'm not a Toyota hater, but I'm also not drinking the Kool-Aid here. Like, I'm no Ronnie Dahl. So basically, as I look around, yeah, it's a decent truck, and I haven't even looked at the window stickers, so we're gonna look at that right now. The ride has been superb. The fuel economy I've been getting, like, on these road trips to and back from the lake house, 400 miles on a tank, and it will run on 87 octane, even though it's got 2 turbos and all that. You know, it's a decent truck for what I'm driving, and I don't know the price, but I'm gonna say 50. I wanted to say 55, 54, 51, 52. Let's just go right there and say 53. I'm sure the window sticker's in here somewhere. Yep. All right, what do you think? What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts? Do we have a window sticker? Accident report. That's for all the mommy bloggers that drive these press vehicles. I don't have a window sticker. All right. Well, I'm going to say 53. And if it's more than 53, I'm disappointed. If it's under 53, I'm going to be happy. Let's see if we can find it. Registration, insurance. Nope. We do not have a window sticker, so that's all you need to know about that. It doesn't matter really, because it's not a $100,000 truck. If it was a $100,000 truck, it would tow a skid steer and it would have all the bells and whistles. And even though this is missing vented seats, I will tell you, obviously I haven't tried the heated seats or the heated steering wheel because there's no point right now. It's blazing hot here in Texas, although today it's overcast and 88, which is perfect. I'll take that. In essence, though, the air conditioning, and this is the first time I'm ever going to say this, the air conditioning was so freaking cold. The dog in here was shivering and looking over at me like, can you turn it, change the air? When your dog is shivering in your truck, you know the AC's amazing. I'm just going to say that. So yeah, the AC here is almost too powerful. Almost, but it's just right. You get in, you fire this thing up, AC blasts cold air, and it's just continuously nonstop cold air. So that's a blessing. And as far as the rest of it, you know, it's all like, you know, pizzazz. You got your little stainless steel pedal caps. You got your little red start stop button. There's no little red ladder here, but yeah, it's a decent truck. I would rather have the F-150 hybrid for the power docking, the generator and all that stuff, because I think that's more useful for someone who needs a truck. And otherwise, you get this for the ride quality. You get this for the power that the engine puts out when it wants to put out. Story of our lives. And then, basically, you know, it's quiet inside, it's comfortable, and it is a Tundra. And I think, you know, in the long run, you know, you're going to be owning this for like 5, 6, 7, 8 years, and you're going to still enjoy the ride quality. And I think all the new trucks that are going to come out aren't going to ride like this truck. They're not going to be as solid state as this truck is. The way this thing drives without air suspension the way this thing just holds the road, you know, with the way the way the AI has designed the truck, you know, it's been okay. It's not perfect, but you know, they always have room for improvement. Unfortunately, Toyota never really does any like drastic changes year after year. They just kind of made it, and that's the way they roll. So there you go. This is definitely what AI looks like. Toyota definitely has a lot of room for improvement on the Tundra and on their Tacoma and on a lot of their vehicles, actually. And yeah, I think once you get past the fact that it can't tow a skid steer, and Toyota doesn't make any kind of truck that can do that, then you realize what kind of truck this Tundra really is. And yeah, there's a lot of plastic, and I know people who have Tundras and they complain about the plastic, but you know, it's not a $100,000 truck, so I'm gonna be okay with it, you know. Yeah, they could do really cool hardcore stuff. I mean, there should be some aftermarket stuff where you can get like rivets and aluminum plating and really cool shit going on in here. But you know, like a suede headliner and all this tricked out stuff. And I would love to see aftermarket people doing that. But I don't know why, but there's so much negativity on YouTube. There's so much doom and gloom on YouTube, and I think that's also AI driven, that I think people are a little lost right now. And all I gotta say is this: if you need a truck and it doesn't have to tow a skid steer, get a Tundra. You'll like the ride quality, you'll like the fuel efficiency of having a V6 more than a V8. I don't miss the old Tundra because I drove one and I thought it was even worse with the plastic and the chunkiness and the nastiness, and I did not like that generation. But this generation is more my style. And obviously, I do like the Ram 1500 with the air suspension and all that. But after driving this, it's like, do I need the Ram? And, you know, Ram even dropped the V8. Now it's back. And it's like, do you need the V8? I mean, the Ram can't tow a skid steer either, unless you get the 2500. And then you're getting into, like, real diesels. And it doesn't matter if it has a V8 or not. So, maybe when Toyota reveals a 3/4 ton Tundra with a diesel, maybe they'll be smart and they will allow it to tow a skid steer in a 10 cubic yard trailer, but they will also have power generation that can outdo the Ford F-150 hybrid. That's what Toyota needs to tell their AI to do. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna go play, and it may or may not include this truck, which I have not had a single problem with. So I will see you in the next video. And I hope you enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. I've been doing this for 10 years now, and I'm going to keep doing it. No matter who tries to stop me, you can't stop me. Because I keep getting vehicles. And these manufacturers really value input, and they value your input. So make sure you leave a comment and let me know what you think. All right, that's it. Maybe I should try four-wheel low if we had any hills around here, but we don't. See ya.